Have you ever woken up in the morning, stretched out your arms, and thought, why does everything feel so stiff? Maybe it's your knees, your shoulders, or that nagging tightness in your lower back that wasn't there before. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Joint stiffness is one of the most common complaints as we get older, but here's the good news. You don't have to live with it. In fact, with just a few simple moves, you can loosen up your joints, reduce stiffness, and get back to feeling like yourself again. Our bodies were made to move, but as we age, we tend to slow down. Maybe you don't walk as much as you used to, or perhaps you avoid certain activities because you're afraid of pain or discomfort. But the truth is, movement is the key to keeping your joints flexible, strong, and pain-free. When you stop moving, stiffness settles in, making it even harder to get going. It's a cycle that we need to break. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So, let's start with the first move. It's something incredibly simple, but it can make a world of difference. Have you ever noticed how stiff you feel after sitting for a long period? That's because your joints and muscles tighten up when they're not being used. The easiest way to combat that is with gentle mobility exercises. And one of the best is called the seated knee lift. Here's how you do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one knee towards your chest. Hold for a few seconds and lower it back down. Then switch legs. It might seem too easy, but this small movement helps keep your hips, knees, and lower back from stiffening up. If you can do 10 of these on each leg every morning, you'll notice a difference in just a few days. It's like giving your joints a little wake-up call. Now, if your stiffness is more in your shoulders and upper body, the next move is for you. The shoulder roll is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to release tension in your upper body. Just sit or stand up tall. Roll your shoulders forward in a slow circular motion, and then reverse the direction. If you've been carrying tension in your neck and shoulders, this move will feel like a breath of fresh air. Try doing it for 30 seconds a couple of times a day, and you'll start feeling looser and more comfortable. Speaking of comfort, one of the best ways to keep your joints pain-free is to improve circulation. When blood flows freely to your joints, they stay nourished and lubricated, which prevents that creaky, stiff feeling. That's where our next move comes in: ankle circles. Your ankles play a bigger role in mobility than you might think. When they're stiff, it affects your entire body, from your knees to your hips to your lower back. To do this move, simply sit down, extend one leg, and rotate your ankle in slow circles. After about 10 seconds, switch directions. Then do the same with the other foot. You'll be surprised how quickly this simple move makes walking feel easier and more natural. It's amazing how just a few small movements can make such a big difference. And the best part? You don't need fancy equipment, expensive treatments, or a gym membership to feel better. You just need to commit to moving a little bit every day. Now that we've covered these first few moves, let's keep going. There are still a couple more powerful exercises that will take your flexibility and joint health to the next level. Let's dive into those next. Now that we've started moving and getting those joints warmed up, let's take it up a notch. Movement is one of the most powerful ways to combat stiffness, but consistency is key. Even the best exercises won't help much if they're done once in a blue moon. So let's dive into the next moves that can help you stay flexible, mobile, and pain-free. Imagine waking up in the morning and being able to swing your legs out of bed without that tight, achy feeling. Wouldn't that be amazing? Well, one of the best ways to make that a reality is by focusing on gentle, controlled movements that lubricate the joints and keep them strong. One of the most underrated yet effective movements is the seated knee extension. It might not look like much, but this simple motion helps keep your knees flexible and strong. Just sit in a sturdy chair, extend one leg straight out, hold for a second, and lower it back down. Do this about 10 times on each leg. It engages your thigh muscles, keeps the knee joint moving smoothly, and reduces that stiff, locked-up feeling. Another fantastic move is hip circles. Have you ever noticed that when your hips feel tight, everything else seems to follow? That's because your hips are a central part of your mobility. To do this, stand tall and place your hands on your hips. Gently rotate your hips in slow circles, first in one direction, then the other. This movement helps loosen up the hip joints and improves overall flexibility. It's especially helpful if you feel stiff after sitting for too long. Now, let's not forget about the shoulders. Shoulder stiffness is a common complaint, but there's an easy fix. Shoulder rolls are a great way to release tension and improve mobility. Simply lift your shoulders up toward your ears, then roll them back and down in a slow, controlled motion. Do this for about 30 seconds, then reverse the direction. This move is excellent for keeping your shoulders relaxed and pain-free, especially if you've been carrying tension there for years. As we go through these moves, it's important to remember one thing. Your body loves movement. The more you move, the better your joints will feel. Think of your joints like a door hinge. If the hinge isn't used regularly, it starts to rust and creak. But when you oil it and move it often, it works smoothly. Your body is the same way. Another helpful tip: try adding gentle stretching into your daily routine. A great stretch for stiff joints is the seated spinal twist. Sit up tall in a chair, place one hand on the opposite knee, and gently twist your upper body to the side. Hold for a few breaths and switch sides. This not only helps loosen up the spine, but also improves overall flexibility. If you're feeling a little stiff in the ankles, ankle circles can work wonders. Sit down, lift one foot slightly off the ground, and rotate your ankle in slow circles. Do about 10 circles in each direction, then switch to the other foot. This movement is great for improving circulation and keeping the ankles flexible, which is crucial for balance and mobility. The beauty of these exercises is that they don't require any fancy equipment. You can do them right at home, in a chair, or even while watching TV. The key is to keep moving. When you make these movements a habit, your body will thank you. You'll notice that getting out of bed feels easier. Standing up from a chair doesn't require as much effort, and even walking feels more comfortable. We've covered some great moves so far, but there's still more to explore. Let's move on to the final piece of the puzzle and talk about how to maintain these results long-term. Now, as we move into the last move, I want you to take a deep breath and really tune into how your body feels right now. Even just thinking about moving, stretching, and loosening up can bring a sense of relief. And that's because your body craves movement. It's built for it. The last move is something truly special, and I call it the gentle hip opener. Now, don't let the name fool you. This one is a game changer, especially if you ever feel tightness in your lower back, stiffness in your hips, or even discomfort when getting up from a chair. You see, your hips play a much bigger role in joint health than most people realize. When they're tight, your whole body suffers. But when you open them up, everything starts moving better. Your knees, your back, and even your shoulders. To do this, simply sit on a chair with both feet flat on the ground. Then lift one ankle and rest it on the opposite knee, forming a figure 4 shape with your legs. If that's already stretching you, stay right there and take deep breaths. But if you can go a little deeper, gently lean forward while keeping your back straight. You'll feel a deep stretch in your hips and lower back. Hold it for 20 to 30 seconds, then switch sides. This move works wonders for releasing built-up tension, improving mobility, and even easing back pain. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate something important. You just learned 5 powerful moves that can completely transform how your body feels every single day. These aren't just stretches or exercises. These are gifts to your future self. Every time you do them, You're telling your body, I care about you. I want you to move with ease. I want you to feel good. And here's the best part. It doesn't stop here. Every small action you take, whether it's adding a little more movement into your day, staying hydrated, or even simply being mindful of your posture, all of it adds up. You don't have to accept stiffness as just another part of aging. You have the power to feel flexible, strong, and capable at any age. So, I encourage you to take what you've learned today and make it part of your routine. Even if you start with just one move a day, that's a step in the right direction. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know which move felt the best for you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who could use some joint relief, too. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on more simple, life-changing tips for staying active and pain-free. Here's to moving better, feeling better, and living your best life, one easy move at a time. I'll see you in the next video.